And hello, folks, gamers, what's going on? JT Displays alongside TDS. Folks, we've got ourselves a Frost Blizzard number 67, sponsored by Trolley. TDS, how you doing today?
I'm excited to be able to cast some more Rocket League. I started quite recently, so every chance that I get, it's always fun. And we're having a pretty interesting tournament. Some favorites already kind of going away, some teams not giving up or living up to the potential that we were expecting. So I'm ready to see whatever happens in these matches that we're going to see.
Very true, very true. We've got the first one kicking us off tonight will be Tricks and Flicks taking on Cotton here. This one should be a pretty interesting one here. Who do you think is going to take this one as we get jumped into the action?
It's interesting. I'm not sure who's going to take it, but there were some hypes onto Cotton, like to Cotton between us casters and in the back lanes. We're talking about Cotton, like maybe one of the favorites. So it's interesting seeing if they are going to be able to pull it up.
Yeah, Cotton coming out with a team of Dinks, Aegis, and Dragon. How it does look like we're going to get a quick reset here, and we will reconvene after all the kitties are officially in the pool, as I like to say. So a bit of a false start there. Listen, it's Monday nights. False starts tend to happen. Sometimes it's a 5-yard penalty. Sometimes just a remake of the lobby. It happens. Personally, I think that Tricks and Flicks, they're coming in here a little bit of the favorites in this one match, in my opinion here, considering they were able to knock off a team that had at least some sort of help from rlcs Pro T-Corral there in the earlier round.
Yeah, that was also some talking points that we were having. So any surprise that we may end up seeing here may turn up later in the tournament to be the same teams that we're going to get, right? Like, even if one of them fall to the lower bracket, we may just end up getting a repeat of this match in the grand finals just because of how good these teams may end up being.
Yeah, and we got some interesting names in that lower bracket currently. We've got X13 Black, we've got Team Mystic, could be the Dabblers, could be Fewer Esports there. I think that you might see Titl 1 as they're taking on Hunt Esports currently here. I think Titl 1, they've got a deep lower bracket run right now. They could be a team to watch potentially if they're able to survive that lower bracket run. But that's all speculation at this point here. Meanwhile, on the other side of this upper bracket, that is currently going on, we've got Atlas taking on the Hesis.
I think it's Hesis. Yeah, I think it's Hesis.
It's a lot of consonants, a lot of vowels there. All I know is that they're in action right now, just like we're about to be in action as well. After we get all the kitties in the pool, as I like to say. So a little bit of false start, but certainly an interesting bracket, right?
Yeah, all in all, there's enough interesting matchups to really get a good taste of the teams all around. And I'm expecting that there's not going to be easy matchups going forward. Like, obviously not meaning that there were easy matchups previously, but I think that with the level of teams that we're getting left over with, each time it's going to get harder and harder. Like, ooh, really good start, by the way.
Yeah, good shot there from BC, and didn't get it in that time, but a lot of early offense right now from Tricks and Flicks as BC takes another shot. Dragon make the save that time as Aegis trying to get up like the Aegean Sea and thwart the attacks like it were Sparta.
And really interestingly, like you were pointing out, starting quite aggressively, but the defense was able to hold up quite well, and now it's a turnaround on the attack, trying to set up accordingly between themselves, and not committing quite a bit, although leaving a bit of themselves open. Oh, Dinks, and it's enough for them to get the first goal.
Yeah, beautiful setup there from BC. Yep. Almost took it himself there. Got a little fancy there with the pass, though, to Garrett to drop it in for the first goal of the game.
It feels like they did have enough space just because of the commitment that it happened previously. I was trying to look at it around it, and it felt like there wasn't the level of commitment that you could end up leaving open your goal. But at the end, it did happen, and it's a first goal coming in for the side of Tricks and Flicks. Was blanking on the name. Really nicely done.
Yeah, really fun goal there to set things up there. Again, that individual effort from BC to set it up here for Garrett, who had the easy job of just tucking it home for that lead now with 3:45 still to go on the clock here in game one of this matchup. Now Dragon looking to find support. Has none, though, at midfield as it's taken over again by Tricks and Flicks. BC showing off some of those tricks and flicks. Dinks able to make the save, though, as again you're starting to see Cotton under a lot of pressure here. They've not been able to really get out half the field so far.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they have done a really good job at trying to manage around certain things from the side of Tricks and Flicks, but not really able to get that aggressiveness that we're seeing from Tricks and Flicks in comparison. Like, I haven't seen a really good attack coming in from them just yet.
Yeah, and that's that. Sometimes some teams do like to sit back, especially in game number one, because game number one, I always view it's kind of like a feeling out process as Dinks is able to feel out the back of the net as he slams home that pass there from Aegis there, ties it up.
In true Brazilian style, sets it up really nice for Dinks, and going in a really good way, because we were seeing maybe a lack of aggressiveness coming in from them, but they opened themselves up really well. They essentially just opened individually the space that they were kind of lacking, and it opened up for the first goal. So tying up the first game really well. And I like the point that you were making on trying to fill out the opening in the first game, because you still have a second chance. Like, it's not like if you lose here, you're out.
Yeah, but it certainly helps to win game number one. I mean, game number one,
100%.
Great shot from BC. The response, less than a minute after the first goal, less than 30 seconds after the first that first goal they gave up there, and as the response there, it's the counterattack. You're always softest right after scoring yourselves, and that's exactly what we see from the defense of Cotton. They were a little soft on that restart, and that's what led to the goal for Tricks and Flicks.
And honestly, a quick response like that is always great to see, because it made sometimes impact. What a great goal. That was such a good setup by Aegis.
Great shot here, just individual effort. Aegis really looking like he's messy out there in the car. Diminutive in stature, but a lot of power behind the kick there.
That was so well set up, and once again, getting the goal as soon as they gave it up. Maybe another one. Ooh, that was a close post to hit there. Safe. Yeah, it's a save at the end. Yeah.
Solid. Yeah. Listen, like we always like to harp on and give the plaudits to the offensive, plays. But I say, listen, defense is so underutilized. Defense wins championships. You got to be able to make those, and they don't do so just then. Able to keep it a 2-2 draw as it stands. Of course, there are no draws in Rocket League. But minute
someone has
50,
to win.
Yeah, minute 45 still to play here. Great pass over to BC. BC just a little too long from, can't quite get the touch he wanted on it. And it's an opportunity now for Cotton to try to turn defense into offense.
Maybe left it go a little bit too long, but at the end, it's not like they immediately lost possession. Maybe even getting another chance with Garrett, but both BC and Dings ends up destroying themselves. So it's not like you're going to have the numbers advantage in this place. It's completely open here. Great assist there. Aegis is scoring there. Really nice work to not only survive the attack, because we can see how quick they turn that defense into an immediate shot onto the enemy goal.
Oh, and just kisses that ball, too. Barely a touch on that to redirect it in the back of the net there. Beautiful. What I'm seeing here from Tricks and Flicks, though, as they are currently down with a minute 15 still to play, is that Gold Buckle has been quietly on the defensive side, just making those saves. So I'm definitely that third man in the rotation there. And Dragon, again, only one save on his part. Those two teams, the two X factors, I think, right now. You see Aegis and BC have a lot of style points on the offensive side, but I think it's going to come down to who has the better defensive player right now. Dragon showing up more than Gold Buckle.
And you're talking about that defensive player, but it's all on how they are setting themselves up in defense. The early start may be a little bit questionable with how Cotton managed it out, but the longer the game went on, the better they set themselves up in defense, because they didn't give a lot of openings. Yes, they gave 2 goals, but as soon as they respond, they immediately turn their defense into offense and have been able to manage it out so well. Dragon particularly has been standing out so well.
Yeah, they are a little close there. You don't like the bunching up, but it doesn't matter if you score goals like that, though.
They have gotten control of the game at this point. It feels like they just simply understand what they needed to do, and as soon as they got the right hang of it, they just immediately turned on its head on the side of Tricks and Flicks and made it so that they cannot answer accordingly.
Yeah, it really does feel like, even though they are in cars with unlimited, fuel, so to speak, it does feel like that Tricks and Flicks later on in this game number 1 have kind of run out of gas just a little bit, haven't they?
I think it also kind of has to do with how Cotton has been responding to a lot of the things. Because Cotton, we saw it. They are a really good defensive team in how they operated mainly. And the fact that they were able to neutralize so consistently maybe forced out a lot of desperation plays from Tricks and Flicks, which in turn opened up a lot of space for Cotton to be able to make it so that they could get more goals. Because the way that the game was going didn't really feel like it was going to be a 5-2 game.
Yeah, and the double commits from Tricks and Flicks don't help them at the end, and it is going to be game number 1 victory for Cotton there. Dinks coming up huge for his team with 2 goals. Aegis as well, 2 goals, assist and save. But Dinks, honestly, like I thought Aegis showed out the most flashing from Cotton.
He
But
felt
Dinks
flashy, yeah.
Dinks though was consistently strong, and that's what you need is consistency to put yourself over the top of your opponents so very often.
Yeah, all in all, it's kind of hard to really. I think it's kind of hard to really call out one particular way that it was going because, like you were pointing out with Aegis, he felt the more flashier. Dinks was the more maybe consistent in the way that he opted into the offense, and I think Dragon felt like the shadow that made everything kind of connect itself well enough.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll see just how Tricks and Flicks can come out here in game number 2. After all, it is kind of their backs against the wall, their win or go drop down into the lower bracket here for them. If you win game number 2, I tend to think that you are more likely to win the entire series overall in a best of 3. And will it be Cotton that can get the 2-0 sweep there, right?
Well, you kind of win it if you already won the first one, so it works out.
It's simple math. It's simple math. It's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard not to lose, right?
Exactly. The second one, more times than less, wins it.
Absolutely. As we are underway now. And that's a great bump there from, I believe that was that BC there with the bump? No, that was, let me double check that.
I think it was
BC,
yeah.
with the bump. Beautiful there to set up that goal. I love a good bump play.
Which is also great because he did start off the play all in all by himself. So the fact that he also ends up finishing the play with helping there in the goal, not necessarily making it, but helping it happen, it's quite good to see from BC.
Absolutely. Dragon now. Aeon trying to put this into the corner there to try to stall out the attack. Aegis trying to find Dragon off the wall. Does do so. Past midfield only as far as Gold Buckle. Passing around with Dinks here, a little back and forth like Pong right around midfield there. Nobody has control right now. 4:20 still on the clock. Here comes Dragon now. Good shot over the top there. Denied by Gold Buckle in just the nick of time here. Little frantic, frenetic back and forth action here in the 4th minute. Heading in with a 1-0 lead currently for Tricks and Flicks. They are trying to change their fortune right now.
Feels like a similar start to how the previous game started as well, where the early lead goes to the side of Tricks and Flicks, but the setup has been going a little bit longer, and now the side of Cotton ties it up. Again, with a goal of Things, I think Things also tied it up in the previous game, so feels like the setup of the overall game has been going similar to the previous one.
Yeah, and it's another good bump goal as well by Dinks to cause that to happen there. So now 1-0. 3:50 still to play now. Aegis able to rise up to the occasion for Cotton that time. Little wave dashing on the wall to try to get to that ball a little bit quicker there. But a little bit more pressure on the back line for Tricks and Flicks. Dragon and Gold Buckle at it again. Now BC pass 1. He's got open field in front of him there. Dinks comes in to knock it away there. Looking for an opportunity now for Cotton.
A really good subtle touch that they were able to try and set up, but still Cotton this time coming a little bit more aggressive. Feels like they are going on the offensive, trying to set themselves up, maybe trying to not give a window of opportunity for Tricks and Flicks, but that could be turned on themselves because we saw in the previous game how open oftentimes they left the goal open, and it gave from some goals that maybe didn't need to happen.
Yeah, and you see that there's just been a little bit of miscommunication sometimes, a little bit of misstep that time by Dragon. Looks for an opportunity to see if Tricks and Flicks can capitalize on it here. They have an opportunity now in their own half currently, but a shot denied. And that was a critical save here for Tricks and Flicks as Gold Buckle sets it up here for Garrett. Garrett challenged by Dragon. And Aegis able to come away the winner.
This time they are more. It feels more similar to them, to both teams trying to play it off. They are not giving any inches so far, and just as I said, any inches, the inch appears. Dinks sets it up perfectly for himself to get the last touch on the goal, and now advantage coming in from the side of Cotton. It was going pretty equal. It was really going equal.
What can you do about a shot like that, though? It's a
Yeah.
great angle.
Just found themselves in a spot that oftentimes it's hard to try and stop from happening because it's multiple touches and then the last angle that perfectly finds itself. Ooh.
So close. BC denied by the crossbar there. Nevertheless, though, crossbar is the goalkeeper's best friend. BC trying to get a second bite at the apple there. Just off target, and Dinks able to push it out into the corner here.
Still quite a contested game, even though the advantage right now is for Cotton. There's still a window of opportunity for the set of Tricks and Flicks to take it. There's still quite a bit of time, and it's just a pretty small difference, all in all.
It is, yeah. I mean, a single goal lead there, you're never comfortable with that. I can guarantee you that much. However, it's a double demo, and that's what opens up the goal here.
Yeah.
Garrett M. You got two demos onto Cotton there, and that just let basically an open net situation here. And Garrett just had to put it on frame. That's exactly what ended up happening there. Garrett puts Tricks and Flicks back on level terms.
And this is what we're talking about. There was enough time, there was not that much of a difference, and if you can find a window, an angle, then you can turn that into a goal to tie it up. It was thanks to the demos though, like you were pointing out, because it opened up some of the space that maybe you weren't finding by yourself. Maybe this is not enough for the goal.
Yeah, Dinks now trying to do a solo. Good pass up to Dragon, who had a ton of boost to get to there. Dinks now full boost himself, looking for a shot opportunity there. Passed over to Aegis, but Dragon has to come collected there, put the challenge in to force an opportunity here. Allow his team to get back in time for defend these onslaughts from Tricks and Flicks, who have a renewed sense of momentum now, heading into the final 45 seconds. Dinks still looking for Dragon, and it's a drop down. 3-2, the lead for Cotton.
They followed that up so well. They were able to dribble it all the way until the last shot by Dragon. But Dinks, once again, coming in clutch, maybe not necessarily in the fact that you're able to get the goal, but setting your teammate up that well is still such an important clutch factor to have.
Absolutely there. And now 40 seconds left to go. BC getting absolutely, plaudits from the other team, as well as they are putting on a singular performance here, trying to carry the rest of their team. Tricks and Flicks, can they hold on now? 25 seconds, still plenty of time to get a tying goal, force overtime here in game number 2. However, with how well that Cotton is playing here, they're like those interlocking fibers of cotton. They are glued in, locked together. They bend, but they don't break. They have not torn. And does that mean they're moving on in the upper bracket?
It's so close to seconds, but I think they are going to be able to do it. It's just the last opportunity, maybe.
That should be game
not enough to tie it up.
Match. Your winners moving on in the upper bracket are Cotton. Dropping down to the lower bracket are Tricks and Flicks.
That was such a close last attempt coming in by Tricks and Flicks, but Cotton doing such an amazing job. I love the analogy, if I'm honest, the fact that they weren't breaking apart. They were sometimes that you can find some openings to maybe throw something in and maybe it passes through, but it doesn't break. And they are able to negate a lot of the opportunities that were coming in from Tricks and Flicks. That was such a well-oiled machine performance, I think, from the side of Cotton.
Yeah, and certainly the predictions came in believing Cotton would come out the victor there. 86% of y'all thought that they would, and that's exactly what ended up happening there. So no surprises in the chat. Chat, as always, has the mind of a psychic there. But moving on in this upper bracket, we will get to see Cotton taking on Atlas. Atlas is going to able to defeat that Hesus Bros, however I call them loser brackets.
Why do you have to do them like that? They're still the tournament, though. So
listen. If they want to prove me wrong, they're welcome to do so. They're to go through the rest of that lower bracket, and we can see them later on in this in this stream here. So that's a challenge up to them. If you want me to pronounce it right, win.
What we will pronounce right though, and what we will try and defend though here is now with the winners final decided we had a cut-in against Atlas. And Atlas had maybe a little bit tougher time. Obviously, we didn't get to see it, but it went to 2-1 to 3 games. So maybe going to be a harder opponent for Cotton, but Cotton had a pretty easy time all in all, in the sense that it never felt like they were in a bad spot that they could just immediately lose everything.
Right, absolutely. So Atlas and Cotton. It's going to be a question of who comes out the victor on that one. That's going to be a close one, I think. I mean, obviously, Atlas, when you call yourself, when you fashion your name like that, after one of the titans of Greek mythology, I think that's some pretty lofty goals there, right?
Well, you're pretty much saying that you can withstand everything that's coming to you and you're stronger than everyone else, because that's the one that's holding the whole world. So I want to see it, Atlas. I want to show me that you're stronger than everyone. If not, I'd be disappointed.
But we've seen what Cotton can do, right? And Cotton certainly no slouches either. There, they've got Aegis as well, and they've got again. I think there's gonna be fun here. Looking at Atlas with their roster, they've got C Money, Vegas, Pluto. That's hey, those are some names right there, right?
Yeah. It's not like they don't have maybe the strength to back it up. So it's going to be a pretty fun matchup between both teams. And like we were pointing out in the previous matchup with Tricks and Flicks, we can still get, even if Atlas or Cotton falls down here, we can still get a rematch in the grand final. So it's not like they don't have a chance at revenge at that.
No, absolutely. I agree. And I think that, for my money, with predictions being open here, as we're starting to get all the kitties in the pool here, Atlas is the first one to try to jump in here. And we got a CRL 2022 World Elite on one of those player names. So, I'm gonna say I'm gonna still be doubting Cotton here, and I think Atlas is gonna come home the victors in this one. So that's my bold take here. I'm still gonna doubt them. Cotton has another opportunity to prove my doubts wrong.
I think you maybe don't want Cotton to win. That's all. Maybe there's a little bit of bias in the caster here.
Maybe. There's no listen. This right here. This is flannel. Flannel's made out of cotton here, right? Like we can look at like I can find my tags if you want, like hashtag pure cotton. It's all about natural fibers. All right. I've got no problems.
But you're doubting cotton.
All right. Listen, like if you're ever caught in fire, you want cotton instead of like any polyester on you, because polyester that's gonna like melt on you there. Whereas cotton, hey, listen, that just burns. So it's a lot easier if you're in a fire to be wearing cotton and natural fiber clothings. Hot tip for you there.
See, I don't fight against logic because it's hard to go against it. But still, I think you're biased against Cotton. I think Cotton did really well, and I think that they're going to perform it this much again. I feel like we may get a Cotton in the grand finals, honestly, coming in from the winner's side.
All right, and maybe I'm just trying to say controversial things to get people to tippy tap in the chat, because hey, it's fun to do that, right?
Exactly. We're here to try and
nobody knows. I'm the only one that knows.
Anything can happen. We're just here to rattle the viewers up a little bit sometimes.
Well, as I like to say, all the kitties in the pool there. So Atlas, we got C Money, we got Pluto, we got Vegas, taking on Cotton here. Kickoff is underway.
And it starts, and I want to see what we get from Cotton, but it's already going quite aggressive. I wanted to see if they were going to try and play it up in the same way. Already an early goal coming in from Dragon. They certainly didn't opt into the same way that they went with Tricks and Flicks. Early aggression, early start going all in, and they get a really early goal.
And you see how C Money just absolutely bid on that one too. He thought he was going to have to save that shot from Aegis, but Aegis, a little flick over there for Dragon. That pass beautifully done, and it's an early goal here for Cotton there. And again, it talks again to the teamwork and the communications of this team, just how they're able to always have each other's back there, and that's so important there. It can make up for a lot of even if you don't have the most technically gifted players, as long as everybody's aware of their positioning there and able to communicate things, like you can make some great saves like Dinks is able to do so right there.
That was clutch there by Dinks, saving in that angle. It was looking really good for the side of Atlas, and they get a demo on the side of Cotton. So maybe this is going to be their second goal, and it is Dinks. Dinks it in. Really well done. That was the easiest spawn that I can go for.
Yeah, I guess it's. Is it a dink? I mean, he does put a little bit of power there, but yeah, it's not a doink. That's the important. It's not a doink, but yeah, I'll say it's a dink. It was a dink, dink dunk, and it's a 2-goal lead there, the most dangerous lead in esports. So we'll see how much they appreciate having a 2-goal lead. Now that means you have to defend a 2-goal lead, and as I'm sure you're very much well aware, that's not hard. That's not easy to do. That's very not easy to do.
It's happened to the best teams that they lost with this sort of lead, so they had to be ready for everything that can be brought on by the side of Atlas. But at the same time, it's also why surprising the weaker attacks that we've seen from Atlas. Like, it's not yet been that aggressive either, nor that super strong attacks. Like, they had one that was really well protected by the side of Cotton, but after that, not really something that you can call out as great attack by Atlas.
Yeah, and here comes Aegis with the nice little air dribble there. Looking for rule 1 there. Dragon breaks it off from Pluto there. That's a bit of bad manners there. I'm not a fan of that. So, Dragon on the naughty list right now as we to the holiday seasons. Winter solstice, no more than 15 days away, and a shot from Dragon makes it 3-0.
They are finding spaces where it feels like someone should be ready to defend it, but they are one step ahead and being able to pull it off to get the goal. Cotton is playing so well so far, and it's on the side of Atlas. They need to put their foot on the table, their foot on the table, and say we are here as well, and try and turn around.
Yeah, and Atlas now, certainly they've got the boot on their throat with a 3-goal deficit now. 2:45 still to play, so almost halfway through this game number 1 here, and they look completely outclassed on the pitch currently. Great little touch there from Aegis. Keep the pressure on the blue side of the field there. Looking for the demo, not able to find it there. Now going to cycle back as Dragon keeps it up. These rotations here from Cotton here, absolutely in sync.
They're playing so well so far. Did he get demo on Aegis? So this could be a pretty good opportunity to try and get something going. And like you're pointing out, there is quite a bit of time still, so it's not like you don't have an opportunity. 2 minutes is quite long to get 3 goals in Rocket League.
Yeah, but even when you see like those demos onto one of those Cotton players, or you saw that the teammates were able to rally and able to get to the ball and stop an opportunity to cut into the deficit there from Atlas. And Atlas right now, it just feels like they're just kind of like looking for those searching balls there. They haven't quite found their rhythm just yet in this game. And we're already minute 45 still left to play here. There's so little time comparatively to when we began here in game number 1 that the fact that they're still trying to look for that rhythm speaks volumes to how good Cotton is doing right now, as they have once again put another one in 4-0.
Yeah, you say Atlas finding the rhythm, meanwhile Cotton is already well inside of it. They are dancing around Atlas so effectively. They are getting so much done in so many of their attacks, and that's a good start, but maybe the time is not going to be enough now. A 4-goal lead is quite high, even though there's still 1/3 minutes.
Absolutely. It's certainly been
Look at that.
A dominant performance right now from Cotton, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon as another goal comes in. This time, C-Money gets one back.
He saw the open space, Atlas taking advantage of maybe the overconfidence from Cotton, having that 4-0 lead, being a little bit too far forward, ends up leaving open the goal, something that we saw in the previous match as well, and it's a pretty good goal to start it off for the side of Atlas. They still need 3 to tie it up, but 1 is the first thing that you want to see. Then with another one, you can begin saying comeback.
Yeah, it could be an opportunity for a comeback, but I really don't see that happen. 5 seconds left to go. Pluto puts one in. I want to be wrong, but like I don't think that this is going to happen here. With 52 seconds, I mean, come on, Atlas couldn't be sandbagging for 4 minutes just to like come back in the final minute, could they?
Why
They
would
wouldn't
they,
do
right?
that, would
Like
they?
they wouldn't like to have that sort of story, right? You would rather just win it early. Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
See money
three?
though. Maybe they've been sandbagging. Maybe they've been sandbagging.
Maybe they have been. In
Listen. Like I said, I never doubted Atlas from the beginning. I thought that they had it in them to come out and really punch Cotton in the mouth.
Yeah, we're just watching Cotton essentially for the sake of it to see if they were doing well enough. But we were always expecting Atlas to come through, right? We never
Yeah,
doubted
no,
them.
we always expected that. Yeah, this is as everybody predicted, right? Everybody
Yeah.
predicted Atlas was going to come in and
They tied
absolutely
it up.
tie it up with 35 seconds left to play in game number 1.
1:30. It was the time when they were 4-0. They were 4-0 by 1:30, if I'm not wrong. It took them 35, not even that, a minute, less than a minute, to try and close that out, and they did it. 4-4, all tied up. Everything that Cotton did previously absolutely doesn't matter unless they win it now.
Well, and this is still game number 1. This is a best
Yeah.
of 5 here, so you know they still got to do it 2 more times, regardless of the outcome of this game here. But certainly, what a comeback from Atlas! They had to figure out the opponents. It took them 4 minutes to figure out exactly who their opponents were. Once they figured that out, suddenly they have been firing on all cylinders. First 4 minutes won by Cotton. The last minute has been won by Atlas. The
Are they gonna
overall
win?
winner will be overtime decider.
That could have been the winning goal, honestly. It was so close to net, but it's not touched by anyone else. So the overtime, I like it. First game of the winners finals, we get an overtime, and both teams sandbagging a little bit just so that we can get to this point. I appreciate it.
As everyone predicted.
Exactly. Everyone knew this. Pluto scored.
Pluto wins it in overtime. 5 goals in under a minute there. Incredible from Atlas. Trying to get the betters against them. Suddenly, we got
I have
ourselves
no words.
we got ourselves a bit of a fun one here, right? Atlas there. Wow. Pluto with 2, C Money with 2, Vegas with 1, and 3 assists there. Come on.
I honestly don't know how it ended up like that. Now we gotta say that Aegis this game was quiet compared to the previous 2 that we saw. So maybe that's the difference maker this time around against Atlas. Obviously, the 5 goals that came through were surprising to say the least with 1 minute remaining. But I'm already excited for the next matches to come. We're like you were pointing out, it's a BO5, so we get quite a bit of matches from these players, and it's looking quite exciting.
Well, you say Aegis was quiet, but like, listen, they had 3 assists in game
Yeah.
number 1, so they weren't necessarily scoring the goals, but they were there distributing to their teammates there, which sometimes you need a distributor there with your teammates, and I think that's what Aegis needs to be doing. If they cannot score the goals themselves, get to a position that your teammate can make the play there, and we'll see what adjustments they can make as it's game number 2 now underway.
I honestly feel like the biggest adjustment they just need to make is go back to the defense that they were showcasing against Tricks and Flicks. Because it's not like their attack was necessarily bad in that game either. They were attacking quite well, but their defense was really, really good. That was lacking in the last minute of the previous game.
Dragon just waiting to see if that one went in there before deciding to make any move. Did not go in. Crossbar, the goalkeeper's friend. A good pass to Dragon.
Ooh,
Better
nice.
save from Vegas. Dinks starting to ramp up the pressure now. And you start to see a little more speed coming out from both these teams here. They're trying to move this fast here. Pluto with a slow play, trying to get the momentum back into a comfortable position for them. And you see this, you know, how they move the ball, how fast they move it, where they want to go with it. You kind of see where they're trying to dictate the pace of the game here from both sides.
They're trying to see who has the better of them both in this game, like kind of what we were seeing in the previous game, although last game Cotton took a little bit less time to be able to decipher that. Instead, Atlas took much longer, but it worked out better for them, so maybe it works out better for them again.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that's what I always say. Like game number one, bit of that feeling out. Game number two now, it very rarely does it have a similar style to
Yeah.
game number one in a best of five. There, you just kind of see contrasting styles. Like so, if it was an offensive, explosion in game number one, expect it to be much more of a battle here in game number two, as both sides try to kind of over adjust a little bit and try to focus on that defensive side of things to force and avoid costly mistakes that lead to goals there. So both teams focusing on avoiding turnovers, avoiding mistakes there. It becomes much more of a defensive battle there in game number two. And then game number three, it's kind of like that, all right, game number one and two have gone now. Now here's the crux of the match here. Here's where everything kind of gets decided a little bit in game number three. But a good shot from C-Money, from Dinks, excuse me, saved by C-Money there.
Both teams are really not trying to keep themselves up like we saw in the previous game. So, and I like also the fact that the speed has been a little bit quicker. I think you touched on it a little bit, how both teams have been a little bit quicker to react to a lot of the plays from the enemy as well. And that's maybe something that we're going to see more and more as the series goes on. But this game has certainly been a little bit more quicker.
Yeah, and I think that comes a little bit with familiarity of your opponent there. You've had one game there, you kind of understand a little bit, all right, this is what this guy's trying to do in this position here, right? Or, just kind of getting a better idea of like, all right, so they try to attack us using this sort of, play style here. So that's something that we got to be more vigilant of. As a wowzer, what a absolute howler coming in from Pluto there.
What a touch and angle that Pluto finds there. Just enough to put it on the top corner. Really well done, and opens up a tough game. This was looking quite tough because both defenses were looking really well, really strong, not giving inches away, but that's the kind of thing that you want to see from your players, being able to open up these sort of hard blocks.
Absolutely, and I said coming into this one that Atlas had some of that top end talent there. Yeah. And Cotton themselves also, that top end talent, that the goals are going to come. It's a question of who's going to be the ones to step up and make those goals happen for their team, and who's going to be able to step up more often for their team as well. And really, a good another drop down there from Vegas, putting the Cotton under pressure there. Cotton now, you're starting to see a little bit of, some tearing, some, stretching of the fabric that is their teamwork right now.
Being really well managed, and it's trying to really find that last opening to close it out. Feels like the second goal could really just be the end of it. Just with how well both teams have defended, I think that the second goal could really just be the difference maker at this point for Atlas if they get it, and they just got it.
Yeah, that one was a bit of a miscommunication. The double commit there in the midfield. Nobody at the back end there, and Vegas just has an open shot. You hit that every single time. If you are a CRL 2022 World's Elite, if you're a Diamond 2 like myself, I mean, you maybe don't.
You probably,
but,
we could probably miss that, sadly.
No, listen, my controller just died. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, we have more room to excuse ourselves. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
With that in mind, though, with the fact that it's just 1 minute, a little bit less than a minute left. Can Cotton pull off? I was just going to say, can Cotton try and pull off the comeback just like Atlas did in the previous game with a lead that is much smaller? So maybe they can. Now
sometimes you got to speak it into existence there. Dinks trying to play like he's Rich Charles in there.
Yeah.
35 seconds still to play now. Game number 2. 2-1 is the scoreline. Final 30 seconds. A little shot down at midfield. C-Money trying to do it all by himself there. No, though. Dragon has to come out and make the stop. Dropping up here, looking for Pluto. Pluto drops down for Vegas, who's trying to find Pluto with the redirect. No. That should be the dagger for Atlas in game number 2. 3-1 with 14 seconds left to play.
With finding the final goal, or potentially the final goal, Pluto doing an amazing job at closing it out. It was looking like maybe Cotton finds the angle there, but it doesn't work out like that.
Yeah, final 13 now. I don't think that they can find 2 goals here against Atlas defense.
Yeah.
And so that means we have a 2-game lead about to come down here for Atlas. And that certainly changes the math for both teams here as we wait for this final ball to drop down here. There it is. Atlas officially taking game number 2 there. And you'll see that they start to, they're going to go ahead and change out their cars here. Because certainly a lot of interesting thoughts about what will happen here, how they adjust for that, right?
They still have that one last game left, so maybe they can find some things to change around here. But it's coming like it's looking like your prediction is going to come through. There, Atlas showing themselves really well in this match overall, being able to open up the score, doing so many good things, and I feel like they are playing really well after how badly they started that first game.
Absolutely. And I think that it's going to be, something that, it is the crux of the match, game number 3, right? If you win
Yep.
game number 3, you're more likely to win the entire, as I've always said. Which, if you're coming in with a 2-game lead, hey, that's pretty easy to win the best of 5, right? But I think that I think Cotton might have forgotten that this is in fact a best of 3, so we'll see if they decide to rejoin the match here. So it just gives us a little more time to kind of talk about it, right?
Okay, yeah. Pretty much gives us a little bit of room for that, which I think that they it's not like Cotton necessarily needs to correct themselves a lot from themselves. Like that second game was super contested until the side of Atlas were able to open up the scoreboard. But it really could have been that if Cotton opens it up for themselves, then it's a pretty different story. Like it's Cotton the one that is on the upper hand. They have the windows now because Atlas has to commit a bit more, and the game could have looked completely different at that point.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, they kept it very close in that second game there until the very end. Ultimately, though, it was just Atlas being so just dominant there. Like again, you see the strength of them. Atlas is able to hold up the field. It certainly seems to be they're emulating that, right?
Yeah. And it's important that they are keeping this level of this overall level to try and keep themselves on the grand final, because securing the ticket to the grand finals, it's quite important when you think about it. Like it's less matches that you have to play, it's more time to prepare yourself for it, and it's still you do get that advantage if I'm not wrong. On the grand finals, you get the advantage just because of reaching it on the winner side. So it's pretty important that you're able to secure it so that you can have an easier time looking forward to it.
Yeah, certainly. I think that I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take a quick step away, folks, while we double check on that, make sure that they have the communication there. When we have that information for you, we will be back with that information. So we'll be right back, folks. This is, of course, the Frost Blizzard Weekly number 67, presented to you by Trolley. Welcome back, gamers. We have the semifinals here in the lower bracket now. We said, upper bracket, it's Atlas. It's Atlas for the taking. Atlas won it. Atlas decided to just, to do it in 2 games rather than in 3 games. That's just how Atlas do sometimes, right? That's just, they go where they please. So instead, we're going to focus on the lower half of the bracket there. We got X13 Black taking on the Dabblers there. Your thoughts on this, Tedious, before we start off right now?
Well, pretty much just started in kind of immediately, but we're going towards the lower side. Now it's do or die. So whoever is not bringing their A game to these matches can just say goodbye to the tournament. And I'm really interested in both teams. I think both have enough potential to really bring it forward, bring a little bit more to try and move forward in the tournament. And I think that both are aggressive enough to also pull for some goals, which is great to see.
Yeah, and we'll just take a look quick at the rosters here for X13 Black, who I think will come out on top on this one here. That's my little prediction over there. We got X13B Shan. We got Gababy, 67, and you got Yags. Meanwhile, for the Dabblers, there we got Daru. We've got Tuv, and we got Spooked. Might be Spooked, but I think it's fancier when you say Spooked, right?
Okay. I honestly would have thought just Spook, but I will take Spooked. I just think that maybe, like you're pointing out, sounds a little bit fancier.
Right? It's just like who cares if you're spooked? What if you're just spooked? Spooked. It's just a little... Yeah, exactly, spooked.
Spooked.
That's how it's pronounced now.
Yeah, essentially. We're going away from spooked. Forget that spooked exists. It's just
exactly
from now on. With that in mind, I'm gonna get Steam mode.
Yeah, Daru though, coming in with a shot, denied there by Gababy. As Gababy with that G2 Esports shield him. I mean, they're definitely not a shill. That they definitely think G2 Esports loves them as much as they love G2 Esports, right? I don't know, Carlos.
Would make sense to me.
Actually, I'm a big fan of G2 and good big fan of saves like that one from Yags.
They are doing a pretty good job at keeping the score as tight, as just equal as possible without giving up a lot of space. But neither is giving up the attack. Honestly, like it's not like one team is getting a lot of control and the other is just waiting for the other team to make a mistake. Both are going for it.
Yeah, currently though scoreless between the two of them as we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds still to play here in game number 1. This is a best of 3. So 2 wins and you're in for either side. And Yags looks to get off the schneid with a goal like that to put their team in front.
Yags finding that angle to get the first goal, coming in, doing a really good job, because we were talking about how committed everyone was to not give up not only space but try and go forward, try and get that goal. But this time around, it's space given up so that finally Yags can find that opening goal and unlock some of the closeness that the game was in.
Yeah, but Daru there, you certainly see that Daru seems to be the talent, the top end talent for this Dabblers team, and that's exactly what they do. They tuck it home. And now it's 1-1. Carte blanche.
They really did a really good job to follow up that play over there. Like you were pointing out, he really is kind of trying to step up as much as possible. And others finding a lot of good angles. Like that play overall, even though it didn't go immediately into goal, it was still so well done that even the rebound was easily captured by the side of Dabblers.
Yeah, very dangerous ball there. First in by Daru, and then Tuv tried to put it home. As the initial shot was blocked there, but there was enough mop and bucket happening that Daru was able to get the first one, and now they get their second one here. A brace for them in game number 1.
Yeah, and in the same way that we saw the first goal coming in from the side of X13, getting the free space so that they could just jump into the goal. The 2 goals coming in from the side of Dabblers, kind of similar in that they found the space that they needed and they were able to take advantage of the fact that it was left open a bit by X13.
Yeah, I certainly feel like here in game 1, with a minute 45 still to play, Daru has been kind of my MVP here in game 1. even before they were scoring goals, they were just all over the field, causing chaos on the back line of X13 and just being everywhere that their team needed them to be. Spooked able to get it out into the corner here, trying to do what they can here from this onslaught from X13. Tub now, they've got space, but Yags is there to stop them. Right for Daru though, and it's back out to midfield.
It's not another goal for the Rue, but it's still so good of a setup that Dabblers has right now, even close to getting that in. And the fact that the ball is not closer to their goal, it's really, really important. They are still keeping it well managed, maybe even getting themselves up close to another goal here. Ooh.
Yeah, certainly one to check out here in the final minute. Drop in for Tuv, but Yags comes out with the save. Now it's an opportunity here for Shan. Can Shan do it? No. Daru once again making saves on the back end while also scoring goals on the front end there. They can do it all for their team, and they may have to if they want to survive here in this losers semifinal matchup.
Setting themselves up really well, and like you're pointing out, the fact that they can get the upper hand in this loser semis is really, really important. You don't want to have the pressure of knowing that if you lose here, you're out. You want to try and give yourself as much windows of opportunity as possible, and they're really doing such a good job at facilitating his team for that.
Well, and you say you lose here and they're out. They still have at least one more game they have to play to determine a true winner between them. But game number 1 will go to the Dabblers. Had to hold that up for anticipation there. They left us with bated breath at the end.
There was that one last attempt, but at the end, it's not enough to really churn it into anything. And Dabblers putting themselves ahead in the series is really important. I was mainly meaning the fact that now your backseas against the wall, right? Because if you lose the second game, there's nothing more. Like you're out because of BO3. So hopefully there's good things that X13 can try and do to turn around the situation and give us another good matchup here.
Yeah, I mean it's always about those inter-match adjustments that happen on the sideline there. They clearly are ready and raring to go here. They readied up pretty darn quickly. They think they know what their issues were in game number 1. So let's see if they are able to apply the hypothesis here in game number 2. It's all about that scientific method here. You make an hypothesis and then you apply your adjustments to see if your hypothesis is correct or not. But it's a bit risky because if you lose here, you're done.
It's really important that they are able to not over or under, maybe it's more the word here, underestimate the potential of what they can do. And I'm mainly saying it for the side of X13, because X13 still was able to get a goal in the first game. Like Dabblers need to be careful about that as well. And even though it's still an elimination, they cannot give any inches to the other team.
Yeah, there's a big clear here from Shan looking for Gababy, who had a quiet game number 1 there. Let's see if Gababy can pop up with something a little bit more spooked in game number 2. Spooked made that save there for the Dabblers to keep them with no score either way. But Yags comes in, and Yags, just like before, they get the opening goal here in game number 2.
Really good job by Yags, taking advantage of the fact that there was a commitment for the previous play, and makes it so that Daru cannot really find the angle to try and push it away. Like, waited till the last second so that he could manage the goal as well as possible, and really well done at the end by Yags.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw them doing those quick little wave dashes on the wall there as a goal celebration, just to flex there, just to show, they've got that technical skill there. They want us to know, hey, I've got some technical wizardry up my sleeves.
Like every player, they want to showcase how good they are, really. Pretty much.
Spooked just missing that drop in there. That's definitely one of those shots that you love to have back if you're Spooked there, because that one was an open net opportunity. Could have been an opportunity to tie it up. Drop in, saved away, Shan.
Was another good chance, but look at that. Now it's a little bit more open to try and get that goal, but it's not enough. Really nice job by Dabblers to deny the potential there, and we need to see the root. Again, first game was amazing. This game can be the clutch factor once again.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of free-flowing play here after the restart. Now things are kind of becoming a little more tactical as Tov, they found a demo on the back end there. As
that was quite big.
Was Gababy got blown up there, and Tov was the beneficiary.
I think, if I'm not wrong, I think Gababy was the one that was in charge of trying to cover there for Top. So really important demo to set up for Top, finally finding the free space to get that goal. Tying things up and making it so that we're back to square one, essentially.
Yep, carte blanche, as I love to say, 1-1. Nothing separating these two teams here right at halfway. 2.5 minutes down, 2.5 minutes still to play here in the second game.
2.5 minutes, everything up for grabs for either team, but Top is really trying to find that goal potential. There's Phuket being able to deny any counterattacks and now setting themselves up for another. I think Top took it away there from Phuket.
Yeah, really iced out their teammate there on that attempt. I think their teammate had a better shot opportunity, but Tov tries to drop it in here. A lot of demos coming out here. Daru making those demos happen, and you'll love to see it from Dabblers. I love a good demo team. Spookhead!
Oh no.
That was great.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to see who it was, but Yax missing the touch there just by the skin of his teeth, or by the thing of its tires. I think it's more accurate. I don't know what the material is. By the tires, ends up missing there, and really makes a difference there for the goal of Phuket.
Devastation for the X13B squad right now. Minute 40 still to play to try and tie the game once again, but certainly their supporters have grown quiet in the chat there. They had those early goals in both games, but the Dabblers have come out and silenced those vocal supporters.
They had those early goals like you were pointing out, but it's important that when you get those early goals, you manage the situation out. And I think that that's one of the bigger mistakes, or one of the biggest errors that we've seen so far by X13, and maybe another one who close by Phuket there.
I think that Daru is the one that actually saved his teammate's shot there.
Was it Daru?
I think so. Either way, though, it denied potential to make it 3-1 there, which would have been a 2-goal lead. So maybe that was why they're trying to deny there, because they don't want to give up a 2-goal lead so late. 45 seconds still to play here. The light is growing dimmer by the second for X13B. Can they find the equalizer? Not with shots attempts like that from Yags. Yags trying to do what they can, but Tubbs there.
Is this going to be it? They still have the time, but it's not finding the opportunity that they want to. Oh no. Yeah, Daru closes it out with that last goal there.
Yeah, Daru there coming in. That's the team captain. Has to be. The leadership put on display there. Like only Daru can. Final 15 seconds. That's a goal every 7 seconds and a half. Quick maths there. It's going to be hard here for Yags and company. If they do not get a score here in the next 3 seconds, I think that I would be confident in saying that it is going to be game, set, match. Your winners moving on are Dabblers.
Dabblers, amazing job at managing out the game. One thing that X13 really weren't able to accomplish really well was managing out as soon as they scored those first goals. And in comparison, Dabblers were able to do such a good job at that. I think it's a pretty stark difference.
Yeah, Dabblers certainly, they showed a lot of grit there. They didn't panic when they got down early in both those games there. You saw that. They gave up the first goal both times, and I think that, sometimes that'll actually relax a team a little bit, right? Because they'll be like, okay, we don't have to worry about defense. Like we gave up that goal. All right, now we know we can kind of like get more into that groove. Some teams need that. They need to get punched in the mouth a little bit to kind of wake up. It's like, oh, okay, that's what we're playing. We're playing that game. All right, now watch what we can do here. And I think that's what you saw there with the Dabblers. They're going to move on and face Cotton now here in the losers finals.
And a pretty interesting matchup. I think Dabbler showcasing really a strong mental to not let any kind of advantage take away from themselves, which is important to see in a team. But we know how effective Cotton can be. We are going against a team that has the players to back this, to back how good the team can be, and then also they can just demolish you in the blink of an eye. That's how good Cotton can end up being, and how ready Dabblers need to be to face Cotton.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see, the compelling matchup for me in Cotton versus Dabblers is going to be Daru versus Aegis, because Aegis, they didn't show up as a goal scorer, but they showed up as a distributor, which in my mind is just as, if not more important for a team. That they need to have somebody that's able to string in those passes, that's able to assist their teammates there, to put that ball in an advantageous position there for their team. But Daru there certainly showed up a lot of individual technical skill, and that kind of carried Dabblers there. So it's really going to be kind of putting strength on strength here for these two teams.
Exactly. Whoever can deliver better on this match can really just take us to that grand final and try and make it so that you can put up a fight against Atlas. I think both teams, no, actually, Dabblers lost against His Bros that lost against Atlas, so they didn't get a chance to fight between each other. But Cotton did lose against Atlas, so it could be a pretty interesting match to see.
Yeah, and certainly they do have Atlas waiting regardless who comes out the victor. But we're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we will have the losers finals right here on Frost Esports RL. This is the Frost Blizzard number 67, sponsored by Trolley. Welcome back, gamers. We have ourselves a losers finals, the winner of which moves on to the grand finals. JT displays alongside TDS. We've got Cotton, we've got Dabblers, and we've got TDS's spicy hot take on this series. What's your thoughts?
I don't know if it's a spicy hot. I think Cotton will win. I think they are a little bit better than Dabblers. And I'm not sure if I would even like, maybe this is a spicy part. I think Cotton gets it 3-0, if I'm honest.
Oh, you think it's gonna be a 3-0? All right, all right, all
Yeah.
right.
No, I don't want
Is
to say
it,
anything about Dabblers, but I just feel it.
well, I think that one of these teams will initially think that's a best of 3, and then it'll be a best of 5 later on. So that's my spicy hot take. We'll see if that
Fair
actually
enough.
happens this time around here, as we are underway in the losers finals there. Kickoff now. Let's take a look at those teams once again. We got Dinks, Aegis, and Dragon there for Cotton. We got Dabbler of Tuv, Spooked, and Daru. Again, I thought it was going to be Aegis and Daru who are going to be the the matchup of the two of those to watch here in this game.
Really could end up determining everything. Oh, so it's a BO3.
See, like I said, that was a spicy hot take. It would be a best of 3. And you know what?
And it is.
I was right. So when I said that one of these two teams, what I meant was like the commentary team, one of us would think it was a best of 5, and one of us would think it would be a best of 3.
Exactly.
So it is a best of 3.
Yeah, so I have to water down my prediction then, even though it's a first goal for Dings here. I'll water it down. I think it's a 2-0 then. I'll just leave it at that. I think it'll be a 2-0, and Dings already starting it off really well for the side of Cotton.
Yeah, that was a really good demo play there. Dragon coming in there and helping out with that demo. I love seeing a good demo goal. I think it's a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people in the Rocket League community certainly not a fan of the demos. And I say it's part of the game, folks. Either play around it or don't play at all.
Yeah. It's in a way the same way. Maybe it's not to the same degree, but it's kind of like trying to get a fault in normal football. Like, it's just part of the game and you have to play around it, like it or not.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when we see Neymar take a dive in the penalty box, he's trying to get the foul, all right? Listen, like, we know it's part of his game there. It's in his tool bag, and he's very good at diving there. Like, he hasn't really needed to do that much in this World Cup, but last World Cup we saw it all the time. Exactly. And so that's why, you know, Neymar kind of had that bad, you know, perception about him, because he just dove like he was in the, you know,
he does
Summer Olympics there, and he's Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he does it quite a bit, sadly. As a Brazilian fan, don't like it, but it's part of the game. And what is part of the game as well is the fact that actually Dabbler is doing a really good job at keeping the game as close as possible with Cotton. They are not giving a lot of spaces, and they are actually finding attacking opportunities as well.
They are, and Spooked looking for the drop in for Daru, and I said it would be Daru, and that's who's going to be the first goal scorer here for Dabblers.
Spooked, though, finding such a good pass, and Daru opening himself up to be able to get that scoring opportunity. Really well done. Dabblers not giving a lot of space up for Cotton, even being down 1-0, so that they can find opportunities themselves. Really well done.
Yeah, Dinks now trying to drop it down here. Aegis, you'll see them trying to steal that boost there. Again, Aegis has the assist there from that Dinks goal, so I kind of view Aegis a little bit more of like that messy role where, you know, they are a distributor there trying to put their teammates in the best chance to succeed there. And I think that's what you're seeing from, again, here in this one. It is still knotted up here, 1-1, 2.5 minutes down, 2.5 minutes still to play here in game one here. Shot on goal, and Aegis is able to pick the pocket.
He finds such a tight angle, but such a good angle as well. Dragon doing such a good job at supporting Aegis, something that we've seen Aegis consistently do, trying to find himself in spots where he can support the rest of the team. This time, Dragon makes it happen and finds the lead. Still 2:30 to go, still quite a bit of time for Dabblers to try and turn it around, but it's a really good lead to try and get maybe win another one.
Yeah, Spooked had to read that one quickly and make the adjustment as Aegis was there, looking to be the poacher's goal. Because again, that's the one thing I love about Rock League. There's no offsides here. You know, you can be completely out of the play as much as you really feel like you think you can. Sometimes that kind of comes back and bite you in the butt where you're completely out of position. but other times you look like a genius if you manage to get the goal. Nevertheless, though, good bump there from Dinks. Dinks has all the time in the world, drops it in there, and it's now 3-1 here for Cotton.
He touched on it perfectly, has all the time in the world. Dinks to play it off perfectly. The rule, not enough to try and mess it up. So perfectly managed goal by the side of Cotton. And now it's on Dabblers. Like, Dabblers need to be the ones that have to go a little bit more aggressive, because now the difference is 2 goals. 1 was manageable. 2 is a little bit more than that.
Oh, beautiful shot attempt there from Daru. Just over the bar there, not able to put it on target. Now, here comes Tuv, looking for Daru again. Another bite of the apple, drop down off the backboard. Spooked. The dribbler, loose ball, danger, danger, Will Robinson. But it goes wanting, and no goal is to be found.
That was so close what they were looking for there, but it's simply not enough. They were really trying to make it happen, and now it's an attacking chance for Cotton. Doesn't immediately turn into anything, but they're still trying to relentlessly take it away from Dabblers.
Oh, Spooked, backboard, drop down, bar down, and in-ski. Tuv, able to put it home.
Spooked played with 2 of the members from Cotton. Look at that. The push away from them just to be able to set it up for top. Great decision making, great goal. Now 1 minute left, 1 goal difference.
Yeah, Tuv though, hitting it with the backside of that Fennec. A little dangerous there, as that close to goal there. Sometimes you just want to use the nose to make sure it goes home low and in there. Instead, risk sending it over the bar. Ultimately, it is a goal, so a calculated risk pays off for them, as they are now within striking distance. It is a 1-goal game here, folks, with 35 seconds still to play now. Dragon trying to increase that lead, or at least shave some time off that clock. Sometimes it is a little bit about stalling for time. A shot from Tuv, though, and it's tied up.
Yeah, they were trying to stall, but they didn't stall in the right manner, because just as you were trying to push it away, right now both Dinks and Aegis were just coming back. Dragon actually were just coming back to try and defend it, so not able to get the most, and the game is tied. Now anyone can take it at this point.
Absolutely. 20 seconds. The backboard. It's there. Dragon can't make the shot attempt. Spooked trying to clear the ball, his lines up to Tuv. Tuv in the corner there has a lot of pressure on him. Dinks looking for Dragon now. Aegis. He's been gone quite a little bit there for the team. Final few seconds. Do we get overtime in game number 1 of the losers final? Survey says top 5 answers on the board.
Dinks. Yeah,
we got ourselves a family feud, final feud, folks.
It was close. Maybe they think that this is a better way to try and play it out than actually running it down. Dinks! Whoa, not able to manage it out perfectly.
Aegis, though, beaten by Tuv. Tuv's really shown up here in this series, here in this game. 2 goals for them so far, a save. Daru's also had 4 saves on the game already. See if Tuv can try to continue that rich vein of scoring form and find the winner here for Dabblers.
Really trying to manage it out. This is such a tense overtime. Trying to make it happen, and Daru, he gets it. Oh, not enough there. Aegis with a great save.
Aegis not able to get past Tuv. Tuv just going to air dribble this out to the midfield there. Met by Dinks. Daru beaten by Dinks here. Now Spooked, the last man to beat Dinks. Off the backboard, and Aegis gets game number 1 for Cotton.
That was so well done by Dinks. He pretty much took it from himself, from the midfield, onto the opening goal, and make it so that Aegis gets the perfect setup. Great play coming in from the side of Cotton. Really nicely done, and taking advantage in the series.
Yeah, 2 goals for Aegis, 2 goals for Dinks. Dragon, hey, 2 assists, 2 saves. Hey, that is some quality work on the midfield and on the back end there. Love to see that entire team working together. Meanwhile, for Dabblers there, they will try to adjust here. Certainly, they need some adjustments after, again, an overtime loss. That can be such a killer blow in a best of 3 heading into game number 2 there. They have to figure out a way to kind of stop Aegis. I said that was going to be the person to watch here, and right now, that seems to be the case.
Yeah, but looking at it on the bright side, right? The Roos still performed quite well. Top had a really good series overall, or a game overall, and they were close to taking it. Like, they were able to take it to overtime and almost pull it off at the end. So as long as they correct some of the small misplays that they had here and there, particularly giving up the lead so early on, I think that they still have it in them to really pull it off at the end.
Yeah, and certainly it is still anybody's game at this point.
Yeah.
Game number 2, though, Cotton, they have avantage. Will it be their way to break into the grand finals, or will the Dabblers dabble up themselves a victory and force the game number 3? We're gonna find out as kickoff is right now.
That's what everyone wants to know. And with the start of it, maybe we will see a different facet, a different phase. I think it fits better from either team. Maybe some more defense, maybe some more aggression. Who knows?
Absolutely. As the early offense here from the Dabblers, trying to put some pressure on the back line of Cotton there. And a little bit disarray there. They don't have their rotations quite set up here this early on. 30 seconds in now. Looks like they finally have settled down here at midfield. They know who's challenging who. Dinks able to get in that 50-50 with Spooked. Spooked won it, but Dinks looking for the shot opportunity. Now Dragon drops it in for Dinks, who looks for the pass out to midfield there, but Aegis isn't there. Keeping control, though, you see this from Cotton. They have not really allowed much of the ball to be seen by Dabblers. Dabblers having a hard time of getting control of this game until this moment.
Yeah, similar start to previous games, similar way of trying to manage it out, no early goals. So both teams are able to try and commit as much as they want without really giving any opportunities. That is so well done by Top. Has an open opportunity.
Yeah, that was a good save there and a good shot, forcing Dinks to make that save there at the last second. That was what a good, smart move from Tuv without much boost available to them there. As Dragon now able to get it out to midfield, trying to use that technical ability there. Stopped by Spooked that time. Aegis met by Tuv, and they've got an open free net to shoot at. Daru puts it home.
Trying really hard to finally get that protection there, but with the commitment that they went for, Daru, like you were pointing out, had open space to go for the goal here and gets the opening goal this time around. I think one of the first times that we've seen Dabblers actually starting winning the game.
Yeah, that was certainly dominant possession by Cotton, but it's a good breakaway counterattacking opportunity there from Dabblers, and that is what led to the chance. And now the lead here, as you see some dazzling maneuvers from Dinks, able to steal the boost away in the orange corner now. Spooked pops it up here off the ceiling there, looking for Daru. Daru can't get in control there as Aegis kind of pushes him back, tries to body him a little bit, bullies him. But Daru denied by Dragon on the goal line there. That one looked like it was going to be a double lead.
It really looked like it was going to turn into another goal for the side of Dabblers, and this time turning their aggression up a little bit more, trying to make it so that possessions from the side of Cotton cannot come through, but maybe this could be an opportunity for Aegis. Not enough.
Yeah, well drilled machine right now from Dabblers. The rotations coming in clutch right now. You see them. 1, 2, 3. Love a good team goal like that.
Perfect execution coming in from the side of Dabblers. Quick, to the point, and greatly done. Now it's just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left for Cotton to try and turn around. They are a team capable of it, but it's still such a good, just like that. You see, they are a team capable of it. But the lead that Dabblers were able to obtain was looking quite good until now.
Yeah, but sheesh, look at this control here. Able to pinch it off the ground there and just tucks it into that corner. Beautifully done by Dinks. We got ourselves a ball game, folks. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. 2-1 now. Dabblers in control, but Cotton storming back after a possession like that. Dinks has his team fired up now. Dragon trying to take himself, denied by Spooked. Dinks has support here with Aegis. Aegis, who's been quiet here in game number 2. They've kind of iced him out. That seems to have been the game plan from the Dabblers, and it's worked with effect so far. Aegis finally getting a touch here after barely having a touch. Only 82 points so far here in game number 2. They've really done an effective job of not allowing Aegis seeing much of the ball.
And neutralizing one of the power points from the enemy team is always a good way to try and make yourself find a winning opportunity. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why we saw such an early lead. Oh, Dinks again! Did them dirty with that play.
That was beautiful, though, but I think that's how teams have to win sometimes. Your power player gets taken out of the game. All right, who do? It's called next man up, and that next man is Dinks right now.
If you cannot win by team power, you win by individual power. And if you have the players to play around it, it can work out like this. Great goal by Dinks, and maybe even more here with Dragon. Ooh, not enough.
Ultimately, up a cul-de-sac, as John Champion would say.
Yep.
Now, a minute left to play here. 2-all. Next goal could win this one. This is a drop down from Dragon, looking for Aegis. Dinks, he's got a free shot on goal. Spooked can't get past the midfield challenge from Aegis. Tuv in the spot of bother as Dragon tries to drop it down. Tuv makes another save there. That is save number 3 for him here in game number 2. Dabblers need to win this one to force game 3. Dinks, he's all by himself. He's got Daru to beat. Daru gets it out to midfield in a good wombo combo there as Dinks intercepts it. Final 15 seconds, still tied up at 2.
Are we getting another overtime maybe, or will they be able to pull it off at the end? It's whoever gets this last shot that will have the chance, and it's looking like Dinks will be the one for it. Or not.
Dragon pops it up here. Aegis looking for that opportunity. He's got Dinks. Dinks has a little bit of boost there. Doesn't have enough of it, though. And they're just going to let that fall. It is overtime. Could this be the decider? Kickoff here. Neutral. But in favor of Dabblers now as they look to try to send this home early. Denied by Dragon on the second time of asking.
Not enough by Tough there, and now it's the time for Cotton to try and pull it off. Dinks also misses there with the opportunity. Really nice time. Maybe this is it. Aegis with a save.
Aegis looking for it. Can't control it though, and has to go searching for boost as he used up all of it on that attempt. Good save though from Aegis from Spooked's shot. Spooked now Dragon combining with Dinks. Tuv gets in there to interrupt it.
Oh, they are trying to do such a good job at sending it towards the end of the opponent side, but this has been such a well-maneuvered overtime so far by the side of Dabblers. They really have not given any opportunity until now, maybe.
Yeah, but even when they give up a mistake like that, they have the resources back defensively to step up. They've done a good job of minimizing and mitigating their defensive woes by just being more conservative here. They are not going to try to. They're not trying to win up the bar down, and it's the bucket from Dinks. Clean up on aisle goal, and Cotton is moving on to the grand finals.
Cotton does it at the end with a last dink from Dinks, able to take the side of Cotton to the grand finals. It was a really hard match for Cotton. Like, it was a 2-0, but it wasn't just a blowout. Both games going to overtime, both games being fought until the end. And that is what you like to see, because even though Cotton ends up winning, I think you have to respect how well Dabblers performed.
Yeah, and then to lose it on the overtime there, it is gut-wrenching for them. Cotton, though, They have a second bite at the apple, a second chance, the last chance saloon for them to take on Atlas. With the bar down, and it's, again, the mop and bucket. That's why I always love to call them when they're right in front, they spill in front of goal there. It's like, hey, there's a cleanup here. Who's going to clean it up? And it turned out that it was Cotton, and that was the decider.
Yeah, and with that, we're moving towards the grand final. A match, we talked about this, the fact that we had that losers run potential to see both teams again here in the grand finals was a possibility, and we're getting that exactly. Atlas against Cotton, maybe the revenge for Cotton, maybe Atlas mending their domination. We will get the chance to see.
Absolutely. I think we will take a brief break. When we come back, folks, it is, of course, the Blizzard number 67, presented to you by Trolley. When we come back, folks, we got that grand finals. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, folks. We have our Frost Blizzard number 67 presented by Trolley JT Displays alongside TDS here. And we've got ourselves a grand final at last. Or should I say Atlas, who's taking on Cotton here. Atlas coming in with a 1-game advantage here in this matchup here. So that means that that Cotton has to win more games than Atlas has to win. Basically, Atlas is already starting up 1-0 in this matchup here.
And that's exactly why it was so important to get that victory in the upper bracket. It's not only the fact that you rest a little bit more, it's not only the fact that you get to see how your opponent performs, it's the fact that you get that extra advantage so that you don't have to take it, you have to play the same amount as your opponent to try and get the win. So it's really important how we suffer Atlas. And
Yeah,
I
and I am
think,
getting word that it
yeah,
is. Sorry to cut you off there. We are
no, no,
getting
no.
word that it is being changed. Instead of a best of 7, it is a best of 5. Probably because some people have bedtimes or they're in college. Because
Yeah.
I get it. Like I get it. I'm a sleepy boy. I'm a sleepy boy. So best of 5. The game advantage still stands there for Atlas. So your thoughts, TDS? Who do you think is going to come out the victor tonight?
Atlas was looking really good in their final, in their winners finals. And I think after watching how Cotton went against Dabblers, obviously not saying the Dabblers were bad or anything like that, but they did give a lot of openings, a lot of room, and maybe that's something that Atlas will take much, much, much more advantage than Dabblers could.
Yeah, Atlas, they do come in with the game advantage there. Cotton has to win 3. Atlas just has to win 2 more games, and it is underway. Vegas, Pluto, and C Money, the team of Atlas here, taking on Dinks, Dragon, Aegis of Cotton. And certainly a little bit chippy. They're already starting to see the demos. Again, I love seeing high-level demo play. It can open up so much there when you just have a simple mana advantage. It's only for 5 seconds, but hey, these players can do a lot with just 5 seconds.
With how fast the game can end up being, you really cannot discount how much 5 seconds can make the difference. So it's really important to see how effective can they make it happen and how often can they make those demos happen.
I mean, officially it's 3 seconds, but it feels like 5 seconds because you have that, 2 seconds from the corner there, and listen, sometimes
they still have to move.
Time distortion. It happens, it's a thing, folks, especially in the wintertime. Time seems to always move a little bit weird in wintertime. But if you're in the southern hemisphere, I guess it's summertime, so, whatever. Adjust accordingly.
According to some people, but that is the first goal for Aegis. Great angle. Actually, didn't expect to see him being able to score from that position, but really good way to start against Atlas. Get the early lead.
Yeah, good goal there from Aegis. Good, run of play there. Absolutely found the space, found the pass there as well from their teammate Dinks, and now it's 1-0. 3 minutes and 3:33 left to play.
Still quite a bit of time, and we did saw in the first game actually the fact that they were 4-0 on the side of Cotton, and they still got the reverse sweep, or not reverse sweep, comeback on. So it's not a lead that it's still secure enough.
Yeah, Atlas had a big deficit to overcome there in game number 1 in the winner bracket final. And they were able to do it. They won 5-4 there in that first game. It was an incredible display. Dinks, though, makes it a 2-0 lead here, the most dangerous lead in esports, with a single goal, a single assist, a single save, and a single shot there. Ones across the board, and they are number 1 on the scoring chart for now. As we all know, that can and probably will change. See how long Atlas waits to keep that powder dry here, or if this is the same Atlas team we saw in the first matchup.
Yeah, could have been just a super high Atlas and then Cotton not at their best game. This could be a completely different Atlas that we were seeing on that one finals. So there's still quite a bit to see, but it's also just a 2-goal lead compared to the 4-goal lead. I think that there's a bit more room to play around with if Atlas is able to do it.
Well, sure, and you also have to think about the fatigue, right? They certainly wanted to make sure that that the fatigue doesn't set in there. They haven't been playing in this tournament. They've been waiting on Cotton to finish up that loser black there, so there's a little bit of time waiting. That can start to slow you, ice you down. You're not feeling as hot as you were, and that can lead to mistakes, whether they be small or large, and that could be why we're seeing such a slow start.
Could be the case. I'm on the part that resting a little bit more can always be better, but certainly it may affect differently on certain players. And Atlas did had a bit of time that it took for them to really get going in the winners finals even. So certainly that can also be the case here. For now though, what you have to praise is Cotton, how well they have managed out Atlas and how well they have closed spaces so that they cannot find easy targets onto goal.
Yeah, good shot there from Pluto, denied by Aegis.
Oh,
now here comes the run-up play. Pluto finds it from Vegas, and now he's got ourselves a ball game. 1:24. It's right out of the Atlas playbook. Wait until the end there before becoming the Blitzkrieg.
And it's easier this time around because there's very little difference compared to the lead that they were in previously, so they can try and find it. But first real punish that we see coming in from Atlas, being able to take advantage of that small window of hesitation from the side of Cotton, and then taking the first goal with that assist from Vegas. Can they close it out as soon as possible, where they take a little bit more time? Maybe? Ooh.
It's certainly possible here. They do only have a 1-goal lead, and the mistake, and C-Money capitalizes on it there. That one was a critical error from Dragon, and Dinks just caught up in the corner there. And Aegis, Dinks. Not the move there. And now it's tied up.
They gave the window of opportunity for Atlas, and Atlas takes full advantage of it. 2 quick goals to get back to get a tie pretty quick, and maybe even just trying to close it out before overtime. So far at this point, we're heading to overtime. Vegas! Ooh.
I saw it, you saw it, everybody saw it.
Yep.
That would have been huge if that had been pulled off.
That would have been that would have been the setup for the winning goal, felt like it, but maybe money not enough for that.
Yeah, but Vegas, they're in the Octane, they're not on the Dominus. If they had that longer nose, would have been able to get to that shot.
There's too much space now though. Aegis may find the angle now that they did commit. Not enough though. Pluto with a great attempt there at saving.
Vegas past one into the corner. Demo though. Pluto sets it up here. Dinks breaks it down at midfield here. The shot. Dragon trying to put it on the backboard. Denied by Vegas. And we have overtime in game 1 of our grand finals.
And first game,
game 2?
Oh.
Is it game 2? I guess it's kind of game 2.
No, I feel like we should just go with game 1. Just because
game 1.
We didn't actually see anything previously. But it's still first overtime of the grand finals immediately as soon as it starts. So great way to start it off.
Yeah, and a great save from Aegis needed. C-Money denied by Dragon. Keeps us at 2-all. Oh, the backflip. Pluto getting frisky.
I feel like was trying to see if he would get baited or not. Doesn't really fall into that. And ends up missing a good opportunity, but at the same time it was looking like it's not going to turn like that. Money though, setting up Vegas here. Not enough to decide.
Now Dragon. Denied by C-Money. C-Money's got Vegas in support there. Vegas gonna take the shot, and Vegas is on the money.
Pretty much the money shot there by Vegas, setting it up perfectly. Doesn't go immediately for the ball as soon as it's falling down. Waits a little bit longer just because he knows that he has the time, and finds the perfect angle thanks to that. Great goal by Atlas. First overtime going in favor of the side of Atlas, and that means that we're just 1 game away from crowning our grand champions.
Yeah, it is going to be a interesting one here, as you see that they've got a 2-game advantage now. Cotton, they are in a deep hole. Pluto certainly had an opportunity there early on, but it's going to be Vegas that came out the victors that for Atlas here. Now, Cotton, what are they going to do here? They're down 2 games. How are they going to come back from this one?
they were playing good enough. I feel like they weren't necessarily making major mistakes, but it was really a lapse of judgment in the last 2 minutes of time that we had left. It was really a lapse of judgment there that made it so that Cotton just gave a lot of room for Atlas to really come back. We saw 2 quick goals, and then in the overtime, it was a little bit of the same where they overcommitted, and the freedom that Atlas got was the last goal. So I feel like as long as they don't allow for Atlas to have that sort of space or moment of opportunity to strike, Cotton should have an opportunity.
Absolutely. They are down, but never out. Never count out an opponent until the final tick of that seconds. But we are now underway here. Game 2 being played, but it is tournament point here for Atlas.
The good part of having that advantage by winning the winners finals. And here comes Simoni to try and close out an early goal maybe, but good defense from Cotton.
Yeah, drop in here. Looking for dangerous. Denied there by Dragon. C-Money had that shot opportunity. It was just sailing right in front of him. Ultimately, though, good defense. And now Aegis combining with Dinks. Aegis all by himself. And it's denied by Pluto. Pluto said, I might not be a planet anymore. I'm just a microplanet, but I'm big enough to stop you.
Well, Pluto is kind of big enough to be able to stop one ball, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Pluto's, I think technically bigger than, well, no, it's smaller than our moon, but it is actually still considered a microplanet. Yeah, like honestly, the classification there, it's gone back and forth with astronomers. It's really pretty, yeah. Anyway, like they're still going to be debating it here. So the debate was settled, and then it was unsettled there, in the early 2000s. But
people had to make it more difficult than it needed to be, right?
Great shot there. Here comes Pluto now. Double commit there. Good opportunity to save by Dragon. Met and stopped by Vegas. The pinch saved away by Pluto this time. Aegis.
That is one of the.
On that.
That is one of the shots that you kind of have to feel a little bit more fearful of, because if they come from out of nowhere like that, you maybe don't get that good opportunity to block off the angle that they are coming from.
Yeah. Oh, like what a shot from Dinks.
Great moment from Dinks to appear and be able to get the angle to close out the first goal, to open up the scoreboard once again in favor of the side of Cotton. Really well done. And maybe this time we see Cotton being able to manage out the advantage.
Yeah, now the lead here for Cotton. Doing what they can with it with 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Still a lot of time there for Atlas. Again, we've seen them do more with less time than this. So it seems to be the witching hour is right around that minute-and-a-half mark is when Atlas unleashes their full firepower of their fully operational Death Star, to borrow a phrase.
Yeah, they have 1.5 minutes to be able to pull it off, but they typically pull it off.
Yeah, 2:22 still to play here. 1-0 in favor of Cotton. They need this game here to stay alive here in the tournament. Looking for an opportunity, Dragon.
Lose here, it's an elimination.
Aegis drops it in front of Pluto. Dinks is there to make the save, though, and controls it off the backboard into the corner there. Vegas, though, keeps it into that blue side here, keeping the pressure up on top of Cotton there. C-Money, though, mishandles this one. Aegis, he's all alone in the corner here. He's got to look for support from Dinks, and Pluto has to make that save to keep it a one-score game. Vegas denied by Aegis there as Pluto was looking to tie it up here.
Oh, it was looking close enough to be the tying shot, but it's not enough, and instead turns into another goal by Dinks. 2-0, 1:30 left. Great punishment by the side of Cotton. This is what we love to see coming in from them, closing the opportunities from the side of Atlas and instead taking advantage of what's left from them.
Yeah, Dinks with the dunks there. And it's a 2-0 most dangerous lead in esports. Will they be able to hold on to it this time?
Every time you bring it up, every time I'm scared about it happening against Gutton again.
Listen, you gotta mention it, otherwise you cast or curse yourself. You know, you darned if you do, you darned if you don't. So you might as well do, because so often it's dangerous for a reason.
I feel like we should try and make it so that we get more caster blessings than caster curses.
No such thing as a caster blessing.
There has to be at least once. And Dragon gets the 3-0. I think I want to call it out, but I'm scared of the caster curse here. But it feels like maybe this is the cozy goal.
You think Cotton takes this game? You think Cotton takes this game with 43 seconds left to play? A 3-0 lead with 43 seconds? You're telling me that Atlas cannot come back from a 3-0 lead?
Like, I know it sounds like we should be more, like, it should be the case, but at the same time, we saw Atlas come back in the winners final, so I'm kind of doubting it for some reason.
30 seconds and
Atlas
have taken a point back from the deficit.
It starts with 1.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. Design is right. Explain myself in due time. All I know. Time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the butterfly swing. As the pendulum swing.
I would follow you, but I'm scared of the copyright strike, so I'd rather not.
No. Listen, it's karaoke. It's completely safe. There's no copyright strike on karaoke.
We're sure in that. I've seen.
Yeah, trust me. I'm completely off. I'm off rhythm anyway. So yeah, no chance for the copyright strike.
And maybe no chance
for Atlas here, as we will have ourselves another game in this grand final of this tournament. We didn't blow lead. Yay, says Aegis.
True. They did it. Oh, for Cotton at least getting 1 back. We're 2-1 currently, so great job by Cotton. And that's the thing. The most important part is not giving them, or not getting that window of hesitation that gives the opportunity for Atlas. It takes a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not easy, but it's still something that you have to do if you're against Atlas.
Absolutely, and Cotton there having fun with it here. Dinks with 2 goals and 2 saves on an assist there with 2 shots. So really, I mean, they're batting 1,000 for him. Yeah. Dragon had a goal on 2 shots as well. So honestly, this is a fun Cotton team here. Atlas, we'll see if they can adjust here and get the tournament, or if Cotton are going to mount the most unlikely of comebacks here, as we are about to get underway here. Oh man, do you think that Cotton can do it? Can Cotton pull off the impossible and pull off the reverse sweep now? I mean, if you think it is, it's got to be like, you know, what's the opposite of a broom? A Murb, you know? You got to summon a Murb, like the Eldritch Being or reverse sweeps.
Yes, but at the same time, I don't know what that is, so I'll follow you up and say yes, they need to do that.
So in my mind, I always view, like, you know, if a broom represents a sweep, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to have what's the opposite of broom? You just kind of like put broom in reverse, MOORB, and that's a Murb. And to me, that just sounds very Eldritch, like, you know, Cthulhu. So it's like the Eldritch Being of reverse sweeps. There's layers to it. It's like
I kind of got lost in halfway through. I kind of got lost halfway through, so
we're giga-braining this, all right? What I'm saying is that it is. So it may be past my bedtime. I don't know. I don't know what we're saying here. What we're saying is we are underway now here in still match point, still tournament point for Atlas.
Cotton pretty much full advantage.
2 more
Atlas.
Games.
Oh, almost Dragon gets it, but what a great start! What an aggressive start by Cotton this time around as well.
Absolutely. As I'm getting question mark pinged from our producer here.
Producer doesn't understand.
No, nobody understands my my understanding of Eldritch beings. I guess it's fine. Pluto though with a final shot himself, and Atlas have taken the lead.
Atlas needed this to start off great this game. An early goal, early shot, great job by Pluto, and trying to make it so that we don't go further into these grand finals. They want to end it here with the advantage that they have.
Yeah, 1-0 here. Vegas dropping it in here. Cleared away by Dinks. C-Money though keeps it alive on that blue half of the field there.
They're always, it's fun to see how Atlas always tries to find that last pass to be able to get the goal instead of just committing for it themselves most of the time. And it ends up working out so well because they always have the follow-up that works out ready to find the goal. Ooh. That is such a good goal by Things though.
Yeah, good shot there to tie it up here. Dinks had all the time in the world there. Free shot on goal and just in a spot that defense couldn't get to it there. And now 3-19, tied up again here. Honestly, I think Cotton just kind of gotten stronger through as this tournament's gone on here. Now Dinks, right off the restart, has taken the lead.
Things really wants to prove you right there by saying that Cotton has certainly gotten stronger. Gets the goal in that position, takes, I think, the three members from Atlas completely off guard and gets that quick goal as soon as they tied up the game.
Rio 5. Call it, yeah, just over 3 minutes still to play here.
There's quite a bit of time, yeah.
Plenty of time for either team. I don't think this is the final scoreline of this game. Of course, Atlas, it's just that final game that they need to claim the tournament. And sometimes it's that final challenge that proves to be the hardest.
Yeah, the closer you are, the harder it gets. That's what some would say.
Yeah, big if true, right? Big if true.
But Atlas wants to prove everyone wrong and wants to take it as soon as they can. Although Cotton, I like how Cotton has been going into this. They really aren't scared of a lot of things. They committed mistakes, but that happens, and they are trying to make it so that they don't give Atlas an opportunity.
Yeah, Atlas trying to make sure that they aren't making any Sisyphean mistakes there. Where as soon as they get close to putting that rock up the hill, they just fall back down and lose composure entirely. They have to stay strong here. They are down by a singular goal with 2 minutes to play now. Redirect onto frame, denied by Pluto. Pluto now out to midfield. He's got a little bit of space, works it around Aegis though, and Aegis makes a
great attempt there by Pluto. Vegas trying to follow up, and it's probably going to get it. Ooh, not enough at the end there. I like how close it's coming, but now we're down to 130. It's enough time to try and tie it up, but it's also being managed so well out by both teams in reality.
Ooh, that was a close one there. C-Money looked like they had the opportunity there, but angle just wasn't quite right for them, and they balked at the last second. C-Money, Aegis cuts it out there, wise from there. Pluto now trying to get around one. C-Money to nowhere. Dragon's gonna have to collect that one for Cotton. Cotton now mounting another attack.
Just
Cotton force a game 5.
getting so close. 45 seconds left. Cotton, maybe you're going to be able to pull it off. It's all on what Atlas can do to try and not allow for that to happen.
See the confidence growing here from Cotton. They want to close this one out here. They're trying to take as much time off that clock as possible. Keep it out of the hands of Atlas. Aegis gets past one there. C-Money puts it up here. Pluto looking for the demo. Dragon able to maneuver around to there. Vegas open net here for Dragon. Pluto comes back with the stop. 10 seconds.
Is it going to be enough? Is this going to be the game that sends us to grand finals? To final game of grand finals, I mean. And yeah, it is Cotton able to pull it off. It was looking like Atlas was maybe going to take it. It starts so well for them, but Cotton doesn't give up, have good mental to recover themselves, and puts us into the final game of the grand finals.
Yeah, now it is no longer a best of 5, no longer a best of 3. It is a best of 1 match, right? One match to decide it all here. Is it going to be Atlas? Will it be Cotton? You know, it's so close now. Certainly
Yeah.
Cotton has shown up in a big way here, where they were kind of getting a little bit lights out. Like, they got sucker punched hard in that winners bracket final there, and
Yeah.
that they had to readjust themselves in that losers bracket. And I think they were able to find that adjustment there, that attitude adjustment, and they were able to find a way to get back into this one here. Down a game already due to that winners finals, and now they have an opportunity, as does Atlas. Who wants it more? And it's not like there's like a cashy money prize on the line or anything like that, right? It's not like, cool.
But the pride is important still.
Yeah, it's not like
It's all about pride.
$100 on the line or anything like that.
Yeah.
Who cares? No, that's important. That's important to
It's
everybody.
the pride. It's being able to tell everyone I'm better than you.
I mean, that too. That also helps. But
That's
listen,
great.
it's the holiday time. Everyone's looking for a little dare we say, holiday monies. So, yeah, I think that both teams are in it here, and they're going to play their hearts out. As this shot comes in, dinks, doinks, and bonks.
He has been everywhere in this grand finals. I think he has scored in every match so far, right? In the grand finals?
Yeah, Dinks has been the MVP of this grand finals so far. If we were to put it to a vote right now.
Yeah, feels like that. Even getting demos, supporting the team. Maybe another one coming in. And yeah, Dings. Another one, 2-0. Is it going to be with 1 game lead? Atlas, I think it's actually a reverse sweep, no? If they make it happen.
It would be a reverse sweep were it to happen here. So are they going to summon the moob, as I like to say? Are they going to summon the reverse sweep? Those upside down brooms. Those backwards brooms.
It's been effective so far. Ever since we made that analogy, they've been winning. So I think we should take credit on that. But Vegas doesn't want to let it go like that. 2-1. I think we may be in front of the highest scoring game in the grand finals.
Oh, I think it's going to absolutely be a barn burner here, folks. 3 goals in less than the first minute.
Yep.
3 goals in 420 seconds.
It's impossible that they don't make any more than that, right? Right? We're not caster cursing it, right?
Well, you can't cast a curse if you think both of them are going to win.
That's true. But by how much?
By at least a goal.
Oh, like now?
Yeah. I think that there's that the winning team is going to win by at least a goal.
Oof.
That is my prediction.
So overtime. Okay, you heard it here first.
Dinks looking for his hat trick.
Oh, Dinks!
It.
That was so well done. It's really so far the Dink show. It really has been just managed so well so far. Look at that last touch to mess up Simone completely.
Savagery.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Love to see it. The bump goal.
And you love to see Cotton with this confidence going forward. Maybe another one. Ooh.
Close but no cigar. What a pinch. That one gets cleared out
That's
into the orange
really
half of the field
good.
here. Dinks waiting for Vegas' touch. Now puts it in on the money as C-Money gets demoed for his troubles. Vegas can't get around Aegis that time. as Aegis linking up with Dinks. We tried to find Dragon, but now Dragon versus Pluto. And
Really
this
good
time,
job.
Dragon too strong for the animated dog that was the pet of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, we're not talking about the planet. The planet would actually want that.
Yeah, I think a planet would be a little bit stronger than a dragon.
Yep.
Unless you're like, you know, I'm sure there's like some anime where there's a dragon that's more powerful than Planet.
Unless you go way deep into some weird lore that not a lot of people actually knows about.
I don't know, maybe Dragon Ball Z, because there's like that one dragon that can like grant any wish, which is probably more powerful than like a singular planet, you know. So.
But isn't that like GT? Oh.
Do you think I pay attention to Dragon Ball? All I know is that I'm paying attention to Cotton scoring their 4th goal here, going up by 3.
First by Aegis.
See, now I'm gonna get I know someone's gonna get in the comments and just get on Twitter and be like, "Oh, JT Displays does not care about Dragon Ball Z." Everybody roast him in the comments.
But that's better because that means that you get attention from the people. What is not better though is the fact that we really haven't seen the Atlas that we were expecting to see. Like, they've been completely neutralized so far. And another one by Aegis, they completely neutralized.
Wow, that is a 4-goal lead now with less than 2 minutes to play here in the grand final. The reverse sweep is on here for Cotton. Can they hold off an onslaught? What would have to be a barrage of goals from Atlas. They've looked stronger and stronger each game as it's gone on. And Atlas, maybe a little fatigue wearing in here. Setting in just a little bit.
We had seen Atlas though get back this sort of lead. Like, it's 4 goals. And that's exactly what they were able to come back from in the first game from the winners finals. So, can they do it this time again? Maybe. Oh, Simone, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, C-Money out to midfield here, met by Dragon. Vegas tries to send it in, Aegis able to stop it there. Now Vegas, another bite at the apple. With C-Money in support. Pluto, the 3rd man. Off target, as everybody was back for that one in defense.
1 minute left. Just 1 minute. And I don't think it's going to be enough. C-Money doesn't get the thing to try and put it into the net. And time is running out. It's not going to be enough. Maybe the first one? Ooh, not even that.
That one should have gone in for them. They needed that one to go in to have a shot. Down 4 goals now with 35 seconds still to play. It's going to be a tight one. They would have to act lightning fast. Aegis almost makes it 6-1. But now it's about delaying the time here. C-Money off target.
No.
I don't think that there's enough time. Even for Atlas, who've been such quick strike masters. There's too much time. It's going to be game, set, match, tournament. Your winners, Cotton.
And even one more.
To put the button on it there, Cotton getting the victory.
Cotton turning everything around, doing an amazing job at the end to get the grand finals victory. You can hear All-Star, I think, but if not, that's fine. But you really are watching an All-Star team with Cotton. They played amazingly. Dinks appearing in the grand final, doing everything in their power to try and make it so. Aegis also got quite a bit of goals, but I think Dinks was the MVP of the grand finals. Really playing out of his mind in every game.
Yeah, absolutely. Binks, just dinking, doinking, dunking, putting in the work. And Cotton are your Frost Esports weekly champions for week 67. Not quite 69. That's like, what, in 2 weeks? So, you know, that'll be nice. If they can repeat then. But until then, you know, 67 is still a good number. Yeah, it's not quite a 69, but it's a good number. It's a good, you know, it's up there. It's up there. It's up there. And you know what's up there? up there, right next to me here. That says Cotton. It says champions. All right, that's what they do. That's what they do this week. They overcome the odds. They come from the lower bracket, and they take the victory tonight.
Yep.
TDS, your final thoughts? Well, I think we may have lost TDS's volume there, but that's all right, folks. For Frost Esports, for TDS, I am JT Displays. You can follow me on Twitter at JT_INKC. TDS. Let's see if I can get him back here. Don't know what happened there for him. But maybe if he's reading chat. If he's in the chat there, maybe you can drop down his Twitter. But folks, for Frost Esports, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Until then, peace.